Hello, first grade. I hope you're doing well. It's Mrs. Storm here today. And today I'm here to talk for just a few moments about something called the Great Commandment. Sounds familiar, right? Last week we heard the story of Moses and how Moses, as God's helper, led the Israelites to their freedom. He helped them escape from the ruler of the time, the evil leader, right? And once they got to the promised land, he went up on top of a mountain. And it was on that mountain, Mount Sinai, where we believe that God spoke to Moses. And God gave Moses 10 commandments, 10 rules for living a good life that would eventually lead to heaven, right? These are rules that we should all do or follow so that we can stay safe and healthy and have a good life and eventually be with Jesus. Well, some of those rules, you may remember, sounded a little something like this. Thou shalt not steal, right? So I've got the word steal here, and I'm going to put a line through it. Whenever you see a circle with a line through it like that, it means no. Whatever's in there, it means no. So no stealing. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness. That means you shouldn't say things that are not true about other people. Making up lies about other people is a sin. It's unkind, and God doesn't like it. So thou shalt not bear false witness. That means don't say something that's not true about someone else. Thou shalt not kill, right? Life is a gift. Everyone's life is a gift, and God does not want us to hurt anybody on purpose, and definitely not kill. Thou shalt not take the Lord's name in vain. That means he doesn't want us to say unkind things about him or to use his name in an unkind way. All right? We should only speak the God's name with love and respect and kindness. So we're not taking the Lord's name in vain. We're not being unkind with his name. All right? Did you notice what all of these have in common? There were other commandments, right? There were 10 in all, but I just chose these 4 as illustrations for you. They all come down to a special word. I wonder if you can figure it out. If you aren't stealing and you're not saying unkind things or false things, things that are not true about people, if you're not killing, and if you're only using God's name for love and respect, it all comes down to this L word here, love. All of this comes down to love. If you're not stealing, then you're respecting someone else. You're loving their property. You're loving them, I should say, and respecting their property. If you're not saying things that are not true, spreading rumors or gossip, then you're loving other people. You're showing love to God too. If you're choosing not to kill, that's love. If you're choosing to only to not say God's name in an unkind way, that's love. If you love, then all these other things come true. Well, in the New Testament, Jesus himself gives his friends at his Last Supper a new commandment. He already knows about these commandments. These old commandments came from the Old Testament, the days before Jesus, when Moses was alive, a long, long time ago. He knows about these rules. But he says, it all comes down to this. I give you a new commandment. Love one another as I love you. That's the new commandment that Jesus says. And with this idea of love, everything else falls into place. This sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it? It's a lot like our school theme this year, love like Jesus. We've talked so much about that this year. So here's my challenge for you today. I'd like you to think about this new commandment, recognize how it comes from, it stems from, it grew from the old commandments, right? The 10 commandments. Think of this new commandment to love one another as I have loved you. And I'd like for you to think about how you can do that at home, and also as a special challenge, how you can do that in your bigger community, right? Your home is a small community where you are right now, but we have a bigger community. We've got a neighborhood, we've got a city, we've got a state, we've got a country, and we're also part of the global community, the world right now, right? You have a lot of communities you belong to. So for your work today, I'd like you to take a piece of paper out and write down a couple different sentences. One sentence answers this question: how can I practice the new commandment at home? Just one sentence. What can you do at home to show love? Okay? And then a different sentence. I'd like you to think about a different community, a bigger community, whether it's your neighborhood or your city or your world. Think about the same question and ask yourself, how can I practice the Great Commandment in my bigger community? How can I make a difference? How can I show love in my neighborhood? Or how can I show love in my city? Or how can I show love in my world? So 2 sentences, one about your family, and then another one about your bigger community. And you've got lots of choices for that one. Okay? When you're finished writing down your ideas, I'd like you to submit them in your Google Classroom, and I can't wait to read your ideas. Thanks so much, friends, for being here today, and have a wonderful, blessed day. Bye-bye.